Hello everyone, so a video here looking at Oddball's favourite subject, bridges. I have some satellite imagery here of the recent strikes that took place in and around Crimea. Now firstly, we're not going to start with a bridge, but we're going to start with imagery from the Kerch oil depot which was hit a couple of days ago. You can see that all but one oil tank is showing signs of burning damage here, with a number of the others completely burnt out. So this was a great strike by Ukraine here. This one was hit by drones, and I believe the fuel here is for domestic use within Crimea, as it isn't a export port. Russia transports fuels here and then sends it further into Crimea for their use. You can also see that the fire still hasn't been fully extinguished. Smoke is rising from one of the oil tanks still. This depot is right next to the Kerch Bridge, so proof that stuff can get through Russia's air defences in that area. And surely these strikes and the strikes which we're going to have a look at soon on bridges are building up to the Kerch Bridge getting targeted. Now, we also have satellite imagery of the two ferries that were hit during the same strike. They've been towed to Feodosia port, which is in Crimea itself, for repair. And I am a bit surprised that Russia risked Feodosia rather than somewhere else, considering that Ukraine has hit a Russian ship there before. I'd have thought they'd have moved these to Novorossiysk or something like that. Now, the ferries don't look too badly damaged on the imagery, but if they need repairing, then they must be out of action. Here's the first ferry zoomed in, so you can see signs of burning around the superstructure in the centre, but nothing major. Interestingly, just north of that is a floating dock that has ended up sinking somehow. No idea why, but you can see part of it sticking out of water with the rest submerged. The second ferry is shown on this image here. Again, you can see signs of burning and fire damage to the superstructure of this one. So once more, not huge damage unfortunately, but enough damage to put it out of action for now and take it to Feodosia for repair. But these ferries aren't destroyed, just damaged. Hopefully now they're here and vulnerable, Ukraine can hit them again and finish the job. Interestingly with this one, Russia came up with a sensible idea to put it next to a highly flammable bunch of oil tanks. I can't see any way in which that may backfire at all. Let's hope that and the oil tanks get hit because that could give us a really fun video. Now, we're going to have a quick look at the Kerch Bridge before we see the damage to other bridges. So Russia has been testing smoke generator vehicles on it as seen here. I can't see these doing much good to hide it since the bridge is, well, a static target and can't move. But FP1 and FP2 drones can be manually guided sometimes, so I guess it could potentially mess that up if Ukraine is targeting a specific area of a bridge and using a manual guidance to guide it in. And I guess it could also make it more difficult for the drone operators that way, and also mess with any AI targeting which may be used here. So I can see a purpose to it, I suppose. Now, some destroyed and damaged bridges here. This first one is in Kherson, but is in one of the main bridges leading from Crimea. You can see the bridge can no longer be used after multiple drone impacts are visible. Russia has built a temporary pontoon to the left of it, and there's also pieces of pontoon bridge being assembled. Interestingly, Russia is also building an earthen crossing across the centre here. Not a bad idea actually, because that won't be able to be destroyed by drones. At most, easily refillable holes will be blown into it. Now, this would block the river completely, so I wonder if Russia intends to leave that little gap in the middle so water can pass through, rather than close it off fully, and put maybe a pontoon section there, so that bit will still be vulnerable. But using earth for the bulk of the crossing isn't a bad idea at all. Russia must have deployed the only officer with brains to this section. It's a less vital bridge than the Chongar and Armiansk Bridge. It does connect to Crimea, but connects to that long strip of land you can see on the eastern side, which isn't really ideal for logistics, since that road here and that stretch of land misses out most of central Crimea, and is really a bit of a funnel, where Russian vehicles using it would be vulnerable to attack by Ukraine. But still, it is a connection to Crimea itself, and so is a key target for Ukraine's ongoing campaign here in isolating Crimea. Very close to this, about 100 metres or so west, is a second crossing. This has been hit twice, but appears to still be operational. I can't be certain. That vehicle seen on it could be normal vehicle traffic crossing it still, could be a Russian military chap inspecting it. No way to tell. But this looks to warrant another drone strike, I think, to put it out of action. Let's take a look at our next bridge now. So the Armiansk Bridge is here, hit multiple times and is reportedly out of action because of the damage caused. You can see there's a smaller lighter bridge on the left-hand side, which appears to be standing still. I think that's just for pedestrian traffic, I can't tell for sure. And then on the right-hand side, Russia has built another replacement one crossing the area. The Chongar Bridge is here, which is one of the key crossings. The topmost bridge you can see is damaged on the southern side with multiple drone impacts seen. This bridge has been hit hard. The entire section has been fenced off by Russia, with just a narrow slip between them being used for transport now. In the centre, a newly constructed pontoon bridge. It appears that Ukraine may have hit one end of it. On the right hand side, it looks like possible damage. But it could just be where the entrance has gotten churned up by passing vehicles in the mud on that side. Can't really tell for certain. There's another bridge just below that, the second one, not as badly damaged as the main one. This one, by the way, is an actual bridge, not a pontoon. It was hastily built by Russia to provide another crossing here. It has a few holes, but doesn't look to be too badly damaged. But the damage must be worse than it seems because on the right hand side, it has been blocked off by barriers, so must not be fully accessible now. Here's the bridges shown overall on Google Maps. There are two bridges in yellow which so far haven't been hit. A railroad bridge near Armiansk, but the railway line has been severed further south by Ukrainian drone strikes, and then near Chongar, a small bridge just to the west of it. This is very isolated though, and likely not all that important. It doesn't connect to any major roads at all, just a large rural area. So isn't really ideal for logistics, but still may warrant a drone just in case. Now, we're going to have a move into a different area just slightly north of the Armiansk Bridge, so it is still all connected. This is the Stafky Bridge. This one you can see has taken 6 drone impacts all along the centre and looks out of action. If you look at each end, barriers have been erected to stop people from using it. To the right hand side of the bridge, a large crater is visible. That looks way too big to be a drone there. Maybe Ukraine tried a missile against this one too, or maybe a misfiring Russian air defense missile impacted in this area. Russia has also used her brains here as well, building a new road using an earthen mound to bridge the gap, which will be difficult for Ukraine to destroy. In the centre, a long trench is running between the old bridge and the earthen road. This isn't a defensive one, but is a protected way for troops to cross to the other side without being exposed along the roadway, I think. So Russia has certainly greased its cogs here too, it seems. This is here, near Armiansk to the north. So, not technically in Crimea, but is part of the same logistical chain leading from Kherson to Crimea, and so part of Ukraine's campaign to fully isolate Crimea. Finally, some satellite imagery here and a quick look at Port Kavkaz. This is in Russia, but near the Kerch Bridge. This is near where the ferries were hit, and it shows an oil tank burning after a drone strike. A few others sport minor damage which may be from old strikes, I can't really tell for sure. Not the biggest or most impressive strike this one, but worth a look as a Brucey bonus. So, a nice little collection of imagery here which I thought was worth a look at. Especially the damage to the bridges. Ukraine certainly seems to be working hard not only to isolate Crimea, but also cut off logistics inside Crimea. As well as these main bridges here, we've also seen drone strikes hitting bridges in central Crimea as well, including on the road and railway. We looked at a railway bridge getting hit in yesterday's video. So surely the Kerch Bridge's days are numbered. You have to think with the campaign to isolate Crimea, the Kerch Bridge there has to be a massive target, and I'm sure Ukraine is going to hit it soon. So that's it for this video. Hope you found it interesting. If so, please click like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Now, I'm going to play a video message from Ronald, which is a thank you video about the recent fundraiser we did. Thanks very much, and big thanks to everybody who helped out, and take care everybody.
Hello to everyone, this is again Supporting Engineer Volunteering Group. This video for say thank you for all donators, and first of all the Mr. Sachumilov for he given us his platform to raise the money on YouTube channel. Not first time, thank you so much for this, you're supporting us very well. And I want to say thank you from previous requests. The goal was $3,000, but we received almost 2. We must stop because we need continue, and we have new one request for you. But I want to say thank you for this. We ask about buy 10 drone frequency system. Now you see 2 of them in my kitchen. Yeah, some of them already on the front line. Not all military can make the video to say thank you, but some I will add to this video. Some of them receive and really appreciate. Thank you so much. Glory to heroes, glory to Ukraine.
Hello everyone, we are soldiers on the front line. Thanks you to engineering support group and such memos viewers who support youth. We received drone frequency scanners to help protect our guys from drones. Glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes.
101-ї бригади дякують вам за щит.
Thank you, such a minute, the detected drone device. Слава Україні!
Thank you very much, such a minus for video detection drone device. Слава Україні!
Героя слава!